feels like to touch a star?
Cool.
And whilst we're talking about stars, the star of our deck today is Starmie. Do you get it? Anyway, Multi-Shot Star is the attack that we are going to be utilising in this deck, and it is really, really interesting. For 1 water energy, we have to read a bunch of text. We discard any amount of water energy from this Pokemon, and for every water energy that we discard, we deal 30 damage to one of our opponent's Pokemon. Now, we can deal 30 damage to every single one of our opponent's Pokemon if we want to, or we can stack all of the damage that we deal onto one Pokemon. So there's a lot of interesting ways that we can attack with Starmie. We can also use Frosmoth to power it up and get as many energy on that attacker as we like. We can use cards like Passimian and also Telescopic Sight to deal extra damage to V Pokemon on the bench, which can give us extra knockouts if we need them. And we can also utilize the brand new Basculin with Swarm the Wound for 2 energy, deals 30 plus 10 for every damage counter on the opponent's active Pokemon. We can potentially use this to clean up any other attackers that we need to deal with. This list is really cool. I would really like to thank Justin Basil, whose list I am using today. If you want to head over to his website, justinbasil.com, he's got a ton of interesting information about the brand new Fusion Strike set, as well as all upcoming sets in the future, past decks, all sorts of stuff. So go and check his website out. This list is really cool. We're going to take it out onto the ladder and see if we can't win a couple of games with it. Time to get started here, and we've got ourselves a pretty solid hand. We're going to attach this water energy to Staryu. I think we might just leave it at this, to be honest. We could play any of these cards, but I don't think we need to. We'll just leave our hand as it is and hope that we don't get Marnied. Firstly, before we really get into this game, thanks very much for the support on the recent videos. Fusion Strike is a very exciting set, and lots of creators are doing lots of cool stuff. I'm trying to get as many of these kind of budget decks out as quickly as possible, because I know that they're decks that people do enjoy. If you like these videos and you want to see more, then hit that like button. I'd really appreciate it. If we can get as many likes on this as possible, that would be great. I'm going to try and get more budget stuff out, but we're running out of options, and all of my options for next turn are gone because we're being Marnied. So that's a bit frustrating. I mean, there are still budget decks to play, of course. There's always more budget decks, and we can go back and... Oh my god, this hand's terrible. Jeez, we just went from having a busted hand to an absolutely atrocious one. So this could go horribly wrong. Oh, okay, well, it's going to be fine. We've got to research. Let's grab a couple of water energy with this capacious bucket. I will attach one to Staryu, then we can throw down a Basculin here, and then we will play Professor's Research. We don't mind if those Pokemon go in the bin. That's not that big of a deal. We do have a couple of cool things we could do with this hand. Level Ball is obviously good. It can get us Starmie. It can get us Frosmoth as well, which is really, really good. I think we might grab that Frosmoth right now, to be honest. And I think we'll also get another copy of Snom here, just to play that down. Give ourselves the option to potentially evolve either next turn, because one of the things that this deck really struggles with is losing its Frosmoth. It means that it pretty much can't do anything. So I'm going to promote Starmie here. I don't think I'm going to Telescopic Sight. I don't think I'm going to evolve. I think we just Multi-Shot Star. We can evolve. I guess we can evolve. Yeah, let's evolve. We're gonna put the Telescopic Sight down, and then we're gonna Multi-Shot Star. We're gonna discard 2 energy, which means we can deal 60 damage, which is pretty solid. And I'm gonna just knock out the Sobble on the bench. That's what I'm gonna do, because I don't want my opponent to have access to cards. So we'll take a prize. We've managed to find an Air Balloon, which is an exceptional prize to take there. And it looks like our opponent's playing like a mixture of Suicune and Inteleon. Maybe this Suicune's like a one-of that we haven't seen before. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, we are looking like we might be in a decent position, because these types of decks tend to have to hit into us 6 times to take 6 prizes, which ultimately I think we can come out on top with, because we will eventually take a multi-prize turn. The issue will be that Inteleon. We don't want that Inteleon to get powered up, because they could potentially take some knockouts on bench Staryus. It is, of course, assuming that they're using the old Inteleon VMAX and not the new one. So we will see. Here's Boss, and this is what... Okay, I was about to say, this is why we don't necessarily need to evolve, but they've elected to take down the Staryu, so that's fine. I don't mind if a Staryu gets knocked out. Let's play down an air balloon. We will play down this Passimian, and then we can research. We'll try and get ourselves some cool stuff here. I mean, it's not an ideal hand by any stretch of the imagination, but we've got a training court, so we can use that to get a water energy back. We can use Frosmoth's Ice Dance to put 2 water energy onto this Starmie, and I mean, we're going to be able to take another prize on a Sobble, so I'm feeling relatively good. This hand, obviously not as good as our previous one, because we don't necessarily have anything that we can do next turn. Hopefully we just get a good prize. So we'll multi-shot star, we'll discard 2 water energy, and then we will knock out the Sobble on the bench. I think that is reasonable. Okay, so 2 prizes. We're in front on the prize trade, if you'd believe it. And we've managed to unprize a Marnie, so we've got a draw supporter for next turn as well. That is very, very nice. Okay, so the situation is as follows. From here on out, we are probably going to need to knock out a couple of these Pokemon V. Luckily, our opponents played down a Crobat. Crobat is actually, it's reasonable to assume that we can get there and knock that out at some point, especially if we have access to Telescopic Sight and also Passimian, because I think it means we need 4 energy, which is an achievable amount of damage. We may need to do a multi-shot star attack into this Suicune to potentially knock it out with a Basculin. So that could potentially be a play. That Tool Scrapper is really frustrating because now we don't have the guaranteed retreat, which I really don't like. Okay, so what do we do now? I think we need to promote something that has a 1 energy retreat cost so that we can manually retreat. We really just need to put a bunch of damage down. I think that's going to have to be the way to go. We'll evolve the Starmie here. I'm just trying to decide, do I want to... I think I want to bench this Staryu. I could have gone for like a Crobat play, but I think it's better to just Marnie here. As long as I get some energy off of this Marnie, it'll be fine. Let's grab 1 energy back with Training Court, and we can attach that to something, I guess. This is no good. He's no good. He's bad. He's really bad. Okay, we're going to attach to the Staryu, and then we're going to pass. My thought process there is we have Level Ball in hand. We can get another Frosmoth if they knock that out. We've got double Starmie in hand, so we're not worried about not having the attacker. They might choose to knock out the Starmie. If they do choose to knock out the Staryu and the Basculin with their Inteleon, which it looks like they do have access to, then we're not necessarily in a terrible spot because we've got Raihan, we've got Level Ball, we've got potential things to do, but this is not looking as good as our previous turn. If we'd Crobatted, then we would have probably been in a better spot. They've Blizzard Rondoed, so we are not in a terrible position, but we are certainly not in a good one. Alright, top deck into an energy is good. That means we can put 90 damage onto something if we want to. Let's evolve. We can Raihan if we want. We can attach if we want. I think I grab a Frosmoth here just to thin it out of the deck. What do we have access to? Good grief. This is a pretty atrocious situation to be in. I am going insane. We're going to attach to this Starmie, then we are definitely going to Raihan. Maybe we boss, actually. What do we have? Oh, both Basculin are in the discard pile. God, that's brutal. Okay, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to Raihan for Nessa. This is an interesting situation to be in for sure. So, we're going to multi-shot star. Alright, it is as simple as that. We're going to put 3 energy in the discard pile. And then we are going to put 90 damage on the active Suicune. We are then going to hope that our opponent elects to take a knockout with the Suicune. If they retreat into the Inteleon VMAX, then we probably lose the game. If they do attack with the Suicune, we can Nessa. We can grab 3 energy and a Basculin. God, I'm going to get those mixed up all day. And potentially... Okay, they're Blizzard Rondoed. We can do it. Now, it just depends. What do we top deck here? Do we top deck something good? We can free retreat, maybe? Marnie, that's okay. That's okay. We can live with that. Okay, so we're going to Nessa. We're going to grab Basculin. We're going to grab triple energy. This is not a good play. I cannot recommend this to anyone. We're going to Ice Dance. We're going to put 2 energy onto the Basculin. Okay. We're going to attach to the active Passimian. We are going to retreat into the Basculin, and then we're going to swarm the wound. This will knock out the Suicune. And now we have 2 prizes plus a boss plus a Marnie to maybe, just maybe, get ourselves a victory. A Crobat here is incredibly good. We could potentially use that. I don't mind that at all. We've got energy for the... Okay, they're going to max bullet. This is it. This turn, we can potentially win this game. But we're going to need a lot to go right here. I'm also going to need to do some sort of maths. We've got Passimian. We're going to put that in the active. We've got double energy. That's brilliant. Okay, so we're going to Ice Dance here. We're going to put both of these energies on this Starmie. Done. Okay. Then we're going to Crobat. Which is going to do nothing because of Path to the Peak. Doesn't matter. We lose this game next turn anyway. Okay, well now we just boss, right? We just boss and just hope that they don't do anything? We just boss and we hope they don't do anything. Because we were never going to Marnie into what? Like, double energy, etc. That was never going to happen. So, whoops. I may have thrown this game. That Crushing Hammer could be really painful. Okay. It doesn't look like they have it. Okay, they don't have it. Okay, so, our situation here... Oh, double. Oh, a bucket. Bucket off of the top deck. Could be something. Could be something. We Ice Dance. We put 2 energies on this Starmie. Okay, we Marnie. I don't know what we're looking for, but we're looking for something here. Is Air Balloon retrieval game? Do we just win? I feel like we just win, right? My brain is not functioning. Just a second. I think we just win. Yeah, because we've got the Passimian. We've got the Passimian. We've got 5 energy on the Starmie. We can knock out this Crobat. I don't know how it has happened, ladies and gentlemen, but we have stumbled into a victory here. We use Starmie to discard all 5 of these energies and then pile everything onto the Crobat. 150 damage plus the 30 with Passimian. I don't know how that happened. Well, I mean, that first game was something else. So let's see what we're up against here. Again, we've got a reasonable hand. We can Quick Ball, we can get ourselves extra Snom or Staryu, depending on the situation. We can maybe Crobat. We could do a number of things. It looks like we're playing up against Single Strike here. So hopefully we can put some... Why are they playing Elisa's Sparkle? What are we playing against here? Tapu Tapu 2020 has got some spice on his mind. What is this? Is this like a... Could this be Deoxys? Is this Deoxys? Houndour, Rapid Strike stuff. Yeah, this has to be Deoxys, right? Oh... I don't know, Remoraid? Okay, there's a lot going on here. There is a lot going on here. I am going to assume that we are playing against Deoxys, so we will wait and see. We've top decked Professor's Research, so we've got ourselves a real game here. We're going to grab, I think, Staryu, and we might actually... What we could do, we can quick pull away the water energy and grab ourselves another... we'll grab the Passimian, that seems fine. We can actually do some pretty solid damage to this Blaziken here. We'll Training Court, and then we will research. And hopefully we'll draw into a bunch of cards. Those are all cards. This level ball is pretty solid as well. I don't mind that. We can attach an energy if we want to. We can level ball if we want to. I think we're going to level ball. I like the second Snom. I cannot lie to you. I like the second Snom. We're going to attach to the Staryu. We're going to use the Training Court just in case we top deck the absolute nuts, and then we will play down the Telescopic Side and pass. This seems like a fine position. Now, Tapu Tapu, what are you doing? What is this? What is the deck that we are playing against today? Because I am intrigued, I'm fascinated. Research, okay. We may see an attacker here. It has to be, right? It has to be Deoxys. Surely I'm not so far down on the ladder that I'm playing against someone who thinks that single strike energy can go onto a Blaziken. It must be something. It must be something reasonable. Rapid Strike Search from our opponent. What are they looking for? What are they looking for? Oh! This is a cool deck. Okay, Deoxys. So, Deoxys is really cool because it has all three of the Fusion, Rapid, and Single Strike tags. So it means that the Houndour is going to be able to accelerate energy to the Deoxys, and then if it's got Fusion Strike energy, it can deal like a ton of damage or something. It's like 180 or something, I think. 160. 80 plus 80. So, we are up against what is essentially a single strike deck. We are looking at a ton of energy being accelerated. The Blaziken can accelerate energy as well. And it's a single prize deck, so it's going to be a little bit difficult. We at least have the benefit of our opponent playing a Blaziken, so we should be able to knock that out at some point and swing the prize trade in our favour. It looks like our opponent has not had a great turn. We are going to start setting up a couple of Starmies here. Unfortunately, we'll need to research these energies away. Hopefully, we can find a retreat option and a what do you call it? And we can, which is fantastic. We'll air balloon here. We can level ball, find ourselves access to the Frosmoth, that I forgot the name of for a second. We'll throw that into the active position, and then we'll be able to do a bunch of stuff. We can Training Court for energy, which is great. We can Ice Dance to put that energy onto the Starmie. I don't know if we want to do anything else here. I think Level Ball is fine. We can Level Ball for... Let's grab another Staryu. I think another Staryu as an attacker is good. We have the Snom in play. We're not necessarily expecting our opponent to knock out the Frosmoth this turn. And then we will multi-shot Star here. Discard 3. It's going to deal 90 damage to something. What we might do, we might put 60 on the active and then 30 on the Blaziken, because then we'll get extra damage thanks to the Passimian. So I think that's a pretty solid play here, and getting a Professor's Research off of the prizes is good too. So, we've got a wild matchup here. I have no idea how this goes. I have no idea what's going to happen, but we're going to play it. We're going to see. We've got pretty much all that we need in our hand. We can Marnie if we want. We can research. We're not getting Marnied ourselves. So we're looking good. We might even be able to Nessa, honestly. Like, we've got a ton of energy in the discard pile already. We can Nessa and get a bunch of energy out to maybe take a knockout on this Blaziken. Maybe take a knockout on the Deoxys if we want to. It'll be interesting. This will be very, very interesting. I have no idea how this is going to go. This is the joy of playing in a brand new format, right? There's always something that comes up to surprise you, and this Deoxys deck is definitely doing that. Octillery will Rapid Strike Search to find something, maybe another Deoxys, because you can. Probably not a Blaziken VMAX. It might be the way that we try and accelerate Fusion Strike energy in this deck, but I don't think that the Blaziken VMAXs can be very good here. We don't want them, or they don't want to give us 3 prizes. They're already giving us 2. Gonna grab a Remoraid. Maybe they play that down. We don't really need to see it though. They've got Octillery in play already. So I'm thinking, yeah, they're just gonna retreat and attack us with Photon Boost, which will do 160 plus 40. So it's gonna do 200. Well and truly knocking out this Starmie. And yeah, we're gonna have a very interesting turn here. And I think that the Nessa play might be the way to go. Not entirely sure, but I think I think there's amount of. I think we could potentially get a knockout on this Blaziken. It depends on how things go. Let's see what we top deck here. A Basculin, okay. We've got 4 energy in the discard pile, so I think Nessa's a good play. We can do that. We can maybe grab like a Starmie back, maybe a Staryu. I think how many? What are we looking at with the knockout on that Blaziken? I think it might be better to grab the energy. Yeah, we'll grab the energy. It's better to at least get the attack off here whilst we can. I will Ice Dance. We're going to put all that energy onto the Starmie that has the telescopic sight. Because that effectively gives us extra damage on the Blaziken anyway. So now we've got 4, which is 12, 120 damage. We can do 180 damage to the Blaziken, so we can definitely get a knockout here. I'm going to play down this Basculin just in case we want to keep it for next turn for sure. And then we can place some damage counters down. I think, what are they on? 60, so we need 90. That'll go to, I think that's enough. And we can just ping the rest of the damage around. This should be fine. And then 30 onto the Deoxys. Maybe next turn we'll be able to take a knockout with the Basculin. We'll see how it goes. But this is looking pretty good. We've taken 3 prizes. We're in a position to be able to knock out the Deoxys in the active next turn. We've got a Staryu on the bench. We've got a quick ball in our hand. We can do a whole bunch of stuff, which is always good. And most importantly, we have a research. So now that I've explained how... Oh my god! A boss. Okay, I was about to say, now that we've explained how this is going to work, we are going to get knocked out. Photon boost into the Frosmoth is not ideal. Definitely not ideal, but it's not terrible. I think we promote the Basculin here. We've got water energy, which is good. We might just attach that to Starmie. Quick ball, we'll get rid of the Marnie here. We will grab another Staryu, I think. We do have Frosmoth left in the deck, and we've got Search to get it, so we should be fine. The thing here that does suck is that we can't realistically play the Training Court down, because if we do, we will find ourselves in trouble, and this hand is trouble too. We're going to have to pass this one, I think. There's not a lot to do here. We were looking for the Frosmoth. The Basculin could have stayed in the active thanks to the Tower of Waters. We could have retreated for free, but I think it's worth sacrificing the Basculin here. It's like not ideal, but it's okay. Well, what is the worst that could happen? He said, as he was about to get moneyed. Okay, so they're photon boosting. Since we missed an attack, they're going to catch up on prizes. I don't know if they can ever come back in this game unless we miss. So if we hit every turn for the rest of the game, we should be able to win, but it's going to be tough. They photon boost the Basculin. We're going to need to promote a Rapid Strike Pokemon here, but this time we can Raihan... Oh my god, that's so annoying. We can Raihan onto the Starmie. We'll get ourselves a Frosmoth out of the deck. We do have a ton of other things, but I think that that's the best. We're going to Capacious Bucket, grab some more energy, which I like. And I think, which is always dangerous, never think if you don't have to, we can Ice Dance a bunch of these energies on, and I think we're actually going to be able to take a knockout on both Deoxys here. There's 50 HP left on the active, there's 120 on the bench, which means that if... Yeah, I think we've got enough, because we've got 7 here. We need 6 to take the double knockout, plus we can put some damage onto another benched Pokemon. So I'm liking this. We can attach the air balloon. I think the rest is fine. We're just going to multi-star shot here. We're just going to chuck all of these energies into the discard pile. We're just going to pray that the prizes give us something good here. We're going to put 2 pings on the active. We're going to put 4 pings on the bench. I'll get us to 120, and then I'll put 1 on, I don't know, the Octillery. That seems fine. And we're going to hope that the 2 prizes that we get are good. We're just going to hope that they're good. That's fine. That's good. That's good. Okay, okay. So we've got some energy for next turn. We do need a supporter, though. So this is one of those rare turns where maybe I don't mind getting Marnied. Tapu Tapu, if you could just chuck that Marnie down and give me some... Give me some more cards. That'd be great. Be great to work with. We have an extra turn. They still need to take 3 prizes, and I don't think this deck can ever realistically take more than 1 prize a turn. So if we do miss, it's not a problem. But we can potentially get a couple of... We can maybe get 60 damage off with a Starmie. Because we've got energy retrieval. Well, that Remarade's looking very tasty. I think that that research means we win the game. You did not need to play that Remoraid down, my friend. That is going to cost you. Oh my word. Oh my word. Okay, so... I don't want anyone to go crazy, but we may be about to win against this crazy Deoxys deck, which I'm a massive fan of. We'll need to look into Deoxys at some point. We've still got like Deoxys and Dragapult to go for Fusion Strike stuff. I'm gonna need to do like a Fusion Strike week where I just play a ton of Fusion Strike decks, I think, because there are a lot of Fusion Strike stuff, which is weird considering the set's titled Fusion Strike. You would, come on, Mitch, get your act together. What are we looking at here? Are we looking at a Darkness? Is this Darkness Fang gonna take a knockout? Are we gonna get knocked out? Are you about to KO me with Darkness Fang? Oh my god. Okay. Who would have thought that the real main attacker of this deck was going to be Houndoom? That's crazy. Double single strike energy, they take a knockout on the Starmie. Poor little Starmie. Poor little Starmie. He's poor little Starmie. He passes to the discard pile. I don't know what accent that is. And this is in the video now, which is crushingly depressing. Okay, we top decked the research. Excuse me, what? Okay, so we would have been out of this anyway. So there's a part of me that wants to double check and see whether we would have gotten the extra energy card to take the knockout on the Octillery, but I am aware that sometimes it can be frustrating, so we will just retreat into the Starmie. We will multi-shot Star, we will discard 2 and then knock out the Remoraid on the bench. This has been well played, Tapu Tapu. Sorry I didn't get to you. That is incredible. I'm a big fan of this Starmie deck. So you've seen the deck in action, but how good is it really? Well, I mean, cost-wise, it's pretty cheap. But unfortunately, the deck doesn't quite have the power or consistency that it needs to keep up with other decks in the format. Needing to use Frosmoth every turn to get a ton of energy in play means that you are inevitably going to miss. I'm actually being quite generous with a C on the consistency, I think. I think the only thing that really keeps it going is the fact that you could potentially clean up with Basculin if you potentially want to. But otherwise, it's a lot of fun, it's really cheap, it's got all the Fusion Strike cards in it, how can you complain? So again, thank you very much for coming along, and thank you to Justin Basil for his excellent deck list. Don't forget to check him out, the link's down in the description if you want to get in there. The list's there as well. Like the video whilst you're there, subscribe to the channel, do all those good things, and if you want to become a member and get your name on the... I don't know why I'm pointing over here. On the screen that's coming up, then I'd appreciate that as well. Thank you everyone for coming along, and I will see you next time for more from the Sableyes. Bye.